Part 2.
Welcome to another episode of the Dribble Me Softly podcast you didn't need to know. What part is it?
Part 2.
Yeah, it is.
Of episode 16 of the Dribble Me Softly podcast.
It is. What is it though? It's podcast extravaganza extraordinaire.
No, that wasn't all of it.
I've forgotten it now.
Damn it. You were doing so well.
I know.
It is part 2 of the
Dribble Me Softly podcast extravaganza extraordinaire
That's
deluxe super pod.
Wow.
The
Super
mega pod.
Yeah, we're building off this. We're back.
Megapod.
The chicken sweats have subsided momentarily.
And now the table tennis sweats have arisen, haven't they?
They have.
You're giving the listeners away to where our recording studio is.
I'm a bit shiny on the forehead.
I hope my employers do not listen to this
Oh,
podcast.
shit.
You just edit that bit out, surely.
For fuck's sake, I'm going to be at the job centre in the morning.
Whoops.
Anyway,
Oopsies.
we digress. What's on for this part of the pod?
Yes, part 2. So we're breaking down Champions League, Europa League, and the Conference League. So we're going to look at the brackets for the quarterfinals and the road to the final for all 3 of those competitions. We'll look at the top 5 European leagues and see how they're progressing as we move towards the end of the season. And we've got another debate question to talk our way through. And that's all for part 2.
Cool. So all this and more next. So, gentlemen,
So, Benjamin.
why is Thomas Müller making videos to Kai Havertz?
They're mates. What do you mean?
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they playing mind games?
They're just mates.
Hopefully they're not mates on the pitch. I want to see some elbows.
Well, you know, like...
yeah, like when he elbowed the Porto coach.
Muller's got some ground to talk shit because he was part of the last team that smacked Arsenal to shreds, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Hey,
let's
those
not go there.
days are long gone, man. That's a different... If it happens again, then fuck 'em.
You're absolutely right because your now manager was then player.
Yeah.
So,
I saw that team. Have you seen the team when
Terrible.
they played then?
yeah, shocking. What was the final score in aggregate?
10-2.
10-2.
5-1 each leg?
Yeah.
That's fucking shocking.
Oh, and no match for them. They're like proper like European team, weren't they? They won it, what, in between those years at some point?
2020 they won it.
And they always went far in the competition, though.
That was their treble year too.
There you go.
Mm.
Pretty good team.
Oh, Bayern, they have pedigree in Europe.
Yeah. Well,
They're one of the big boys.
They should do. They normally have half the German squad in their team as well.
Mm.
So it's not like there's any excuses. But,
That's true, yeah. Fair enough. I get that.
but we're there. I don't know what it means for the Premier League running and stuff, but we've talked about the Premier Part 1.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't listened to that, go back to that.
Yeah, start there.
Would be nice. So what about the Champions League bracket? What's the draw?
So it's a very interesting draw, actually, because we've got a really good couple of games. I think one side is stacked, and I think the other side is 50-50, right? So obviously 4 games, 8 teams. We've got on one side of the draw Atletico Madrid versus Dortmund. Then we've got in the second quarterfinal of that side of the draw PSG versus Barcelona. On the other side of the draw, this is where things get very techie because we've got a repeat of that, was it 2015 or 2016 tie?
In 2016.
Between Arsenal and the mighty Bayern Munich. And then a repeat of, I think it was the semi-final last year, Real Madrid versus Man City. That is shaping up to be one heck of a game. So 4 games, 8 teams. Who's going to progress?
You are right in saying with the other side, I think one side's stacked, the other side's got some average. I think PSG has a real chance on that side though to make the final.
I absolutely agree with you, yeah. I think this is Mbappe's shot at doing it with PSG, yeah.
I wouldn't discredit Barca. They're playing well at the moment.
Can I tell you a fun fact really quickly on Barcelona? In 2005, it's got this really weird link to Jurgen Klopp. I'm not sure if you've seen it on social media.
Oh, yeah.
In 2009, Klopp left Mainz. 2009, Barcelona win the Champions League. 2015, he leaves Dortmund. In 2015, Barcelona win the Champions League. In 2024, he's leaving Liverpool, and Barcelona have progressed to the quarterfinal.
Interesting.
Could history repeat itself for a third time?
Depends.
Could they actually do it?
Did in each of those years that he left, did he lose his shit with a reporter and then walk out of an interview? Have you seen that?
I have seen that.
What was that about?
I think it's probably the point where you've gotten fed up. I think talking about running out of energy, talking about, all the time and the effort it takes to being a manager. What people don't probably realize is just how hard it is to deal with the European media, the English media.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, it was actually a Swedish reporter that incident went down with. But I think it's just the the constant questions that he's getting about, aren't you going to miss this? Why are you leaving? All this kind of stuff. Where he's said out and out, I'm leaving, run out of energy, right? Focus on the team, for God's sake. Why are you focusing on me?
Yeah.
I think he's old enough and like experienced enough where he's just like, I don't even fucking need to answer this question. Like, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
but,
facts.
In saying that, when I said PSG has a real chance, I do also agree on that side. Barca have a cracker chance too.
They absolutely do. Yeah, I agree. It just depends on, I think, when you look at, let's look at the two games on that side of the draw. So firstly, we've got Atletico and Dortmund. Who are you guys taking for that game?
I think Atletico.
Yeah, same.
I actually think Atletico too.
Yeah, especially if you watch that Inter game with them. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what Inter were doing with their substitutions. That was pretty fucked.
What about Martinez's penalty?
Oh my
and
god! Yeah, I know.
Sanchez.
Oh, but there's some of those goals that the ones which were scored though, they were just smashed.
Yeah, they were actually.
they were
yeah.
just each
Or the
penalty. I
penalty,
thought
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like fast forward. I was like, oh, I'm actually watching
That is true.
on normal speed. I don't know. I think Atletico are kind of dark horses in terms of the way they set up, and you've got captain of all shithousery as their manager.
Yeah, that's
primed for these situations.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think you can't ever rule out an Atletico team under Simeone, especially in the Champions League. And history's proven they've made it to the final under him. You know, they're consistently in the quarters of the semi-finals under him. So,
Yeah. You know what's going to happen if they win at home. It'll be very tough for Dortmund to score, but Dortmund at home as well. That's a great ground. That's a great ground to play a second leg at if you are Dortmund.
yeah, absolutely.
Like, their fans turn up every week in, week out.
Signal in Duda Park.
Do you think it's a real advantage to play the second leg at home?
Of course.
Of course it is, yeah.
It sucks for us because
Think about it.
say in whatever world we do go through and beat Bayern, we then have to go to we also play the semi. The first leg is at home.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Put it this way.
I didn't know that.
I think that if the second leg of the Arsenal-Porto match was in Portugal, I think Porto walk out of that the winner. I think the fact that you play the 90 to 120 at the Emirates it's huge, right?
It is
Yeah.
huge.
Because you play two legs, you both get 90 minutes each at your home ground.
Mm-hmm.
But the second leg automatically will get that extra 30 minutes should they need to.
That's true.
That's a huge advantage.
That's a massive point.
Mm.
And you do, I think one side of the toss, winner picks what side you go from, right? So you
Yeah.
can pick if it's your fans or
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
So that's also a big thing. But yeah, I think an advantage is advantage here for City is they got second leg at home against Madrid. I think last time when they lost to Madrid, that was maybe 2 years ago when Madrid knocked them out. Madrid was home the second leg, I think.
Have you seen the meme with the four Real Madrid players are all on a yellow card and could miss
I know.
the second leg, and then it's the picture of Grealish, and it's like Grealish ready to take 87 fouls to get. Was it Bellingham, Vinicius? Can't pronounce his name, and can't pronounce his name.
Chouameni.
Chouameni.
Yep,
And
Cavaminga.
that's the one.
Camavinga.
Maybe we need to just have a GoFundMe so I can go to a speech therapist.
Did you see, though, for the Arsenal game, did you see the thing about the Bayern away fans?
Yes,
Yeah.
they're
So-
not allowed to be in
yeah.
attendance for the second leg.
So it was punishment for their
So that's an even bigger
behaviour.
advantage, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Hope
it's good
so.
for us at home.
Sell
Because
some tickets.
I almost think
60,000 Arsenal fans at the Emirates.
And I almost think we could get a result at home against any of these teams. Not that we can beat them,
True.
but I think we could get a result at home against any of these teams.
Let's look at Arsenal when we get to Arsenal,
Yeah.
because we haven't actually finished that side of the draw just yet. So I think we all agree that Atletico are going to progress.
Yes.
So then let's actually talk about the next one, because it's a pretty big game. It's Barcelona, it's PSG.
Well, Luis Enrique used to be the manager for.
Yes,
Yeah, he did, yeah.
correct. The Luis Enrique derby. Again, these two teams have a bit of history, don't they? I think
Oh, yeah.
2016, 17 potentially, with the epic of epic comebacks when Barcelona beat PSG.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
That was hilarious. That game.
That was insane. That was insane.
6-1, wasn't it?
It was 6-1, and then I think they finished 6-5 on aggregate. It was, but Barcelona beat PSG 6-1 on the night in the second leg of that game.
Oofed.
I think
I remember watching
Neymar
that.
ran right in that game.
Yeah, that game was just brilliant. I remember just PSG crumbling though.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything like that.
No, I mean, I think what's happened to Barcelona against Roma and then against Liverpool those 2 years in a row, it comes pretty close. But this is insane. Actually, the Liverpool one is crazy because Liverpool were down 3-0. I know the second leg was at Anfield.
That's such an advantage.
Yeah.
Second leg at home, eh?
Second leg at home is a massive advantage. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
all
more
of
reasons
those are
than-
all second leg at home.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm scared. Who would you both take and why?
So we said Atletico, yeah? Then
Yeah, we
Yeah.
said Atletico.
PSG, I'd almost take Barca with the second leg at home.
I'm actually thinking the same thing. I think I'm going to take Barca just on that basis alone. That second leg advantage is huge, man.
Barca are just going along, ticking along
Yeah,
nicely.
exactly. And also, if history is to repeat itself for a third time with this really weird Jurgen and Barcelona link, then
That'd be so fucking weird.
it'd be
Crazy.
weird, right? Yeah. Out of nowhere, Barcelona come through to win the 2024 Champions League. Like, no one would have picked them at the start of the season, you know?
We'd be changing our pod to a conspiracy pod, and we'd get our tinfoil hats out, and we'd say it's all a simulation.
And then if they play Atleti, what's their...
But
I'll
just
have a look at their record against them this
yeah,
year too.
just before we do actually progress to what a potential semi-final would look like on that side of the draw, PSG have a lot to play for because, like, I mean, Mbappe's leaving at the end of the season, right? He's going to Real Madrid. So, given that you look at the side of the draw, and really, if they get through that game or that tie against Barcelona, they should be able to take on either Atletico or Dortmund. Gives them a proper shot at a final, and then anything's possible in a one-off cup final.
Yeah.
100%. So Barca literally played Atletico this morning
They did, yeah.
and they spanked them.
Yeah.
It was really impressive, actually. They're
I
only
know.
6 points off Real Madrid now.
Athletic, what's his name? João Felix scoring a goal as well against his old team. He likes to score against Athletic, actually, funnily enough.
Might have been a bit of a hangover, though, from the Champions League game, because Atletico went to penalties, didn't it?
It did.
And
That's
that
true.
was
Yeah.
emotional.
Yeah.
Like,
How crazy is that stat that the last, like, you know,
last penalty shootout is
Yeah.
2016.
and then there was 2 in 2 days? Crazy, isn't it? Football works in
Really?
funny ways sometimes.
Do you know how we, like, shit on the product of the Champions League? And I've seen that in other memes as well. And then I found this tie, especially the second legs as well, so engrossing. Like, not just because, like, from the Arsenal stuff, but even investing in the other one. I remember, like, messaging you guys that the
Yeah.
Inter Atletico game,
Yep.
I was watching the last 25 minutes and I was just like, what on earth is this? It was
Craziness,
falling,
right? Yeah, I absolutely agree. That second leg is huge. I guess the other thing we have to factor in is that, you know, we spoke about this a few weeks ago about the away goal and whether that should return. I guess that really should, because it may take away from that advantage that the team.
It evens it out a little bit, right?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
For the second game.
That's
you know,
true.
whoever's home,
Yeah.
you know? Because at least that way, that one goal essentially is 2 goals.
Yeah, you can come through and score and
Yeah.
help yourself.
So another thing to factor in. But I think we're all taking Barca potentially over PSG for this one. Ben, I think you're the only one up in the air about.
I'm with you both on this.
Yeah?
I can't see it.
Okay. So then let's not go to the other side of the draw just yet. Let's
You
talk
wanna go
about the
this side?
semi-final and
Yeah.
let's see who do you think is going to progress then out of Barcelona and Atletico. So an all Spanish semi-final. Stu, you just said this morning Barcelona did play Atletico, pumped him 3-0. Barcelona had a bit of a rocky season. Ben, you've been hypercritical of Xavi in the past and the Barcelona team, I think. But you just said it, 6 points off Real Madrid, who've, you know, been flying this season. So it's not really that bad, is it?
No, I think pressure's off Barca and they've just got a bit of continuity, finally. No, things been up in the air. They did lose, who's the young guy? Gavi
Yeah.
and Pedri?
Yeah, both.
That was a big piece for them. I don't know, they just seem to be a lot more stable.
Pressure's off a little bit, right? Maybe from the managers leaving. There's no...
More to play for
what's
because the manager's leaving?
More to play for... Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
Could say that.
They've got so much young talent. I think maybe Atletico do it off experience.
You reckon
I know-
Atletico?
You've got some old heads in Barca, but you've got people that have been there or at least gone further in the tournaments. There's a lot of young players in that Barca squad, is all I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just don't know if it comes down to it. But maybe if it's 2 grueling legs and an extra time, the young legs might come through.
It's just set up for a Simeone ambush, isn't it?
It kind of
'Cause
is.
I think on this side, Barca will play home second.
Okay.
Yeah. So
But it's not really
Simeone will
home.
have-
Sometimes they can't even sell out
There, whatever stadium.
the Olympic Stadium of
That's the one,
Barca.
yeah.
you'd think for a Champions League semi to go into the
Oh,
final,
mate.
they'd sell it.
This is
true.
This is the occasion.
It
isn't it?
will be sold out for this one,
Oh,
for sure.
for sure.
No, it's silly of me.
Barcelona return to the big times. back in the Champions League semi-finals. They'd be up for
Xavi
it.
stays. De Zerbi stays at Brighton.
Klopp comes out and says that he's found his energy. Yeah. And, we're back to
He might go to the
equilibrium.
German team, mightn't he?
Yeah, he
You've
might.
seen how they're looking to... They may offer a compromise in that role.
Yeah, he might. I also think that he actually is genuinely serious about wanting some time off to be with his wife and kids.
Do you know what? If you had to deal with fucking Darwin's in like craziness, mate, I'd be fucking knackered.
Yeah, 100%.
You're like, you're so fucking good, but what
are you doing? Yeah, 100%.
Why?
Yeah. Darwin has the potential to be one of the best strikers in the league.
Yeah, I know, but that's the frustrating thing about watching him, isn't it? Because he's box office.
But the thing is, when he's on, he's on.
Yeah.
And he's...
But when he's off, he's off.
Yeah, bad. 100%. And this morning he was off.
Yeah.
He was
Well, he did set up a
off.
goal.
He got 2 assists, but he still had a shocker of a game.
No, one of them didn't count as assist, and that's right, because he had a shot parried by a goalkeeper.
That's fair enough, yeah.
No stat pad on this pod.
Stat patter.
All right.
Anyway, sorry,
So
we're
who do you
back.
have going to the final?
It's so hard. I'm going to say Atletico.
You both say Atletico.
Yeah.
I actually think, but I think Barca might.
I think
Barca
you
might
said
go
it
through.
best. This is set up for a Simeone ambush,
Okay.
masterclass, whatever you want to call
Just
it.
some real shit. Boring
Dirty
as fuck.
tactic,
Yeah.
just like,
It's going to be dirty. They're going to
Proper
be falling
grudge
over,
match,
falling over all over the place.
Yeah, and then they're going to scrape it with like
Yeah.
a 2-1 on aggregate or something.
It's going to be a Griezmann moment.
I was going to say Griezmann's second-minute goal,
Yeah.
and then they're just going
And
to
that's
park
it.
it.
Park
Yeah.
the bus, legs through players.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
A lot of
Simeone
sideline
running up and down,
antics.
up and down the
Antics, man.
sideline.
And you think it's going to be at Barca as well, so it's just going to be non-stop whistling for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we've settled that side of the draw, and now I'm very, very interested to talk about this side because this
Yeah.
is where it gets a little bit techie. Because the first game on this side of the draw is Arsenal. It is Bayern Munich.
Arsenal at home first leg.
Arsenal at home, first leg. So, gentlemen, what are you thinking for this one? And take your bias out of it, in all seriousness. I know it's hard to do because even I lack the ability
Yeah.
to do it, but try.
I think the Arsenal home leg. I think the Bayern not having away fans there is actually really big. I think even
Who's home first, sorry?
Arsenal's home first,
Okay.
so they got the advantage, obviously,
Yep.
being able to go back to Allianz.
So all they need to do is go get a result.
If they win at the Emirates,
It's game over.
right? But if Arsenal
Get a win and have
but
something
more
to
than
take.
one goal, they need a 2-goal margin, I'd say.
I
To even
agree.
think about going there and holding them to just one at home. Harry Kane, 31 goal. I think he scored 37 already this whole year. All competitions.
Yeah, well, one, we talked about Xavi having the pressure off for Barca. Since Tuchel has been binned, he's kind of said, well, I want to do things how I want to do. And they seem to be going along nicely all of a sudden. Now pressure's off. Don't know if pressure will return because it's Champions League. But Serge Gnabry loves playing London clubs. Leroy Sané is experienced against playing against Prem clubs. Harry Kane is still Harry Kane. Like they've got a solid team. I don't know if I think I'm a bit like Stru. I don't know if Arsenal are not nervy. Look, they have to get over the hump. There has to be some sort of psychological hump they get over if they're going to do anything in this. I think if they 1-0 up, 2-0 up, it could go to penalties at the Allianz. It just depends if the old Arsenal of old rears its head.
I think the Arsenal of yesteryear are well gone. I don't think, you're right. Obviously, there's that psychological trauma of going back and having to deal with them. But it's a completely different generation. It's a completely different team. It's a different manager.
Well, you couldn't imagine these lot shipping 5 goals, can you? If they're fit.
There's no chance in hell.
Yeah.
We're talking about the best defense in the league this season. There's no
Correct.
way. There's no way.
So I think it's a coin flip, really. It's going to come down to Bayern's experience.
But I think the thing is that what Arsenal proved is that they're not Europe ready because they struggled against Porto.
We lack a killer instinct.
Yeah.
We
And I
lack
think-
be able to close out a tie.
I think that's where Bayern are going to beat Arsenal. I think on that basis alone, I forget about the fact that they got the second leg at home.
This
Right.
is where I think it comes into, like I was saying, getting over the hump. Because these are all the little things they need to get over.
Yeah, at some stage you got to turn the tide, right? You create your own experience.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
So that in saying that, yes, there's nothing is saying that we'll go there and win the second leg and go through. But you got to, at some stage you got to do it, especially with the way Arsenal's been trending compared to where they were.
I think this is, you talk about that psychological curse or whatever it is, I think this is Arsenal's best chance at doing it because Arsenal have never been stronger, and in my opinion, Bayern haven't been this weak in a very long time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
That was a coin flip for me.
So my question to both of you is take your heart out of it because your heart's obviously going to say Arsenal. What does your head say?
I think Bayern will go through.
What about you, Ben?
Yeah, I think we'll maybe win like 1-0
at home.
and then lose 2-0
Okay.
maybe. 3-1.
So I agree. I think Arsenal will probably win that home leg because like your home form has been excellent. Your defense is incredible. But I think ultimately if you take a 1-0 back to the Allianz, there's no way that you're going to win the tie.
No.
Because they're just too good at home, one, and Harry Kane.
Honestly, you'd go there 3-0 up and still be worried.
I'm really curious to see how they defend like with Bayern because I know Porto, they're the masters of shithousery, but also the mid-block. And like they're really disciplined and good at it.
They are very, very... That discipline is an understatement, Ben, yeah.
Bayern aren't disciplined.
Not under Tuchel, no.
Which is why I'm just curious. Like, there's so many competing factors, but I know we're running out of time, so I'll shut up and say Bayern.
No, the thing is, and we're not running out of time, that's okay. The thing is, Tuchel's a very good cup manager.
True.
That is.
Right? You know, he knows how to get it done across two legs, right? Where Arteta doesn't necessarily have that experience.
No, he doesn't.
And I think that is another factor that could come in to, eventually decide the tie.
Also, Tuchel and Arteta could be exchanging insults about one another's mums, apparently.
Is it confirmed that it was about his mum? He just said family member. He never actually said mum.
He said exactly the same thing about Tuchel, like
He did.
verbatim.
He's made
before.
the same allegation a few years ago, yeah.
So, fuck that guy.
Fair enough. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I think you both are saying Bayern are going to progress.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they have the experience to do it. And I think that second leg at home is a bigger advantage than some would agree to.
Okay. I absolutely agree. I think Bayern are going to progress. I think Arsenal will be good at home, but I don't think they're going to be strong enough to progress.
If the tie was the other way around and Arsenal were at home, how do you reckon it would go? Do you reckon we'd just get battered at the Allianz and not score enough at home?
It's a really good question, Stu. I think I still would choose Bayern over Arsenal. Yeah. I think like the thing is Bayern have the experience to go to Emirates for a second leg where Arsenal don't necessarily have that same experience.
Yep.
I think that's probably what it is.
I think they have the experience to come to the Emirates in the first game and not lose the entire tie.
Correct.
Yeah.
Where it could be lost.
Where it could be, yeah.
Yeah. Especially if they played the way that they played against Porto across both ties.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, they were not good. Arsenal weren't.
I agree with you. If that second leg was away, it could be very different.
Yeah. All right, so that's that one.
Yep. Next one, big one.
The next one's the biggest one. It's the biggest one for sure. A repeat of the semi from last year, I believe. It's Man City versus Real Madrid. Doesn't get bigger, if you ask me.
Huge, man.
It does get so.
First leg at Bernabeu.
Correct. Second leg at the Etihad.
Yep.
The Etihad, sorry. So, Ben, I'm going to go to you first. What are you saying?
I think City win it.
Wow, that was so quick.
I think Madrid have been scooting along a bit, and I don't think they're going to do it. I think Man City's experience is going to be enough. They have enough in depth. I think they're going to goad some of those yellow-carded players for Real Madrid and take them out for the second leg. City are going to be fishing for that stuff.
They will be.
They've got the experience and the know-how. I think it could be a good game. It's good. It's going to be fantastic over two legs.
Oh, it's definitely the tie that I'm looking forward to the most. Actually, I lie. I'm really, really looking forward to the Arsenal and behind me.
This guy just wants to see us fail.
Not for that reason. I just think that right now Arsenal are a very good team, and I'm very interested to see how they go against Bayern.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we've seen City and Real Madrid. We've seen it already last season.
Yeah, but it really could go either way. In my opinion, I think once again think City playing home second leg is quite big for them.
Yeah.
And I think they could also go to the Bernabeu and get a draw and come home and win, which I think, to be honest, Madrid could do as well. It's a very fence-sitting game, but it's hard to pick.
If you had to pick one, who are you picking?
City.
Ben, if you had to pick one, who are you picking?
City.
City it is. I lie. If I had to pick one across two legs, I think I'm going to pick Real Madrid.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I'd prefer it to be Real Madrid.
I really want it to be City from the perspective of the league, and I really want it to be Arsenal from the perspective of the league, and we'll touch on that in a second. But yeah, City are a wounded beast this season. City aren't as strong as everyone may make them out to be.
You reckon they're just plodding along?
They look. I don't think plodding along is the right word because they're getting
No,
results.
not in the sense.
Yeah,
obviously
right.
City.
And
we're
they're getting
talking
it.
about,
They're getting
yeah.
it done the right way. I just think that there are teams that are better than them this season. I think next week or whenever it is, Arsenal are going to go to the empty head and they're going to absolutely walk all over City. And you heard it here first. I'm telling you this, and you know how much I hate Arsenal.
Oh, whoa.
But I honestly think that Arsenal are a better team than City. And I think on that basis, the Real across 2 ties will beat them. I
Fair
really,
enough.
really do. So let's assume, though, because it was 2-1, let's assume that it is City that does go through. So we have a semi-final of Bayern Munich versus Man City.
City.
City it is. Agreed. I think City are too strong in that leg. So then the final that we're predicting is Barcelona versus Man City. Is that right?
Correct.
Or Atletico versus Man City. I think we said Atletico, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, we said Simeone.
said
Yeah,
Atletico.
you two said.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh no, I think I said it too, right?
I think
no,
so,
I
yeah.
think I said. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
So-
It'll be Atletico and City.
Man City. And then I think we all think the Man City would win that.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the Champions League road to the final. Let's have a quick look at the Europa League one.
Yep.
So, with the Europa League, this is an interesting one because I think everyone, when they look at the Europa League, automatically predicts a final between Liverpool and Leverkusen. But let's break it down in any case. So, we've got 8 teams. We've got on one side of the draw, Benfica and Marseille in the first quarter. And then on the second quarter on that side, it's Liverpool versus Atalanta. On the right side of the draw, we've got AC Milan and Roma, so an all-Italy contest there. And then the second game on that side of the draw is a game I'm actually very, very, very interested in. It's Leverkusen versus West Ham.
Yeah.
We don't have to spend as long as we did on the Champions League, but let's have a quick go at breaking this down. Benfica versus Marseille in the first quarter final. Who you taking?
Oh, that's tough. Maybe Benfica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Ben?
It's a very interesting question. I think Benfica.
I also think Benfica, for what it's worth. I think Benfica have been really good this season in the Europa League. In saying that, is Aubameyang scoring goals for fun at Marseille?
He's doing well. Wouldn't say for fun, but I think Benfica are top of their league as well in Portugal.
Yeah. With a game in hand, I think, as well.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. I think Benfica.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to add, to be honest, with those guys. I've not paid full attention to
Yeah, that's all right.
Europa.
For the first time in how many years?
Well, I didn't pay attention to it last year because we weren't in that, nor the year before.
Funny that. So, genuine question, do you only pay attention to the competitions that your team are in?
No.
Because I have keen interest in the Champions League and my team aren't in it.
No, I pay attention to Champions League. I pay attention to the English teams if they're in Europa or when it gets down sometimes to the Final Four. But I haven't paid enough attention to it. It's a lot. I'm trying to stay on top of all these European leagues as well. Something needs to give.
For those two teams, I couldn't tell you what their form's been like. So
Yeah.
But for the other 3, I would have a clear winner.
So let's move on then. The next one is Liverpool and Atalanta. Who are you taking and why?
Liverpool's just too good. Liverpool's obviously the strongest in this whole. I mean, as long as they stay injury free,
I mean, no.
and then play.
It's not staying injury free.
Oh,
it's getting players back from injury.
Yeah, and then
then keeping
not
them
getting more
injury free.
injured.
Yeah.
Then them and Leverkusen are the 2 strongest in the last 8.
So the next one we've obviously got is AC Milan and Roma. So it's an all Italy derby on that side.
They're trending upwards.
Roma trending upwards. That is correct. AC Milan steady enough, but nothing to write home about by any stretch of the imagination this season.
True.
So who are you taking in this leg, this tie, and why?
Probably AC.
Really? If you
Is
look
Giroud still there?
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Giroud is still there. If you actually look at Roma since they sacked old mate Mourinho,
Been good.
they've been better than good, mate. They've been scoring goals for fun. They've been winning games. They might well be undefeated, I think, under their new current manager. So it's interesting. It's an interesting one. I think I'm actually going to take Roma for that one.
Ben?
I'm going AC. AC haven't got really much to play for. They're pretty safe in Serie A
Yeah,
at the moment.
that's true.
I know Roma are on a good upward trajectory, but I think AC Milan has got too much for them.
So last time they played AC won 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
And the time before that, it was 2-1 Milan.
Both times under an Jose Mourinho Roma team.
Yeah, one was September and then one was 15th of Jan. He was
Okay.
gone.
Cool. So you guys take Milan. I'm going to take Roma, but it was 2-1, so we'll go with Milan. So that leaves the final one. And this is probably the one that lifts the most eyebrows because it's an interesting game for sure. So it's Leverkusen, or as I said yesterday, by Neverlusen, versus West Ham United.
Interesting one.
Moisey versus Alonso.
Moise.
Who are we taking here, Ben?
Well, you'd think it'd be Bayer Leverkusen, surely.
Yeah, I'd like to think that they continue their unbeaten run.
As much as it'd be great for the coefficient and for West Ham, I don't think Leverkusen are going to let the wheels fall off and lose to West Ham.
But you never know.
You never know.
Because West Ham is like, it's different. It's a different challenge for them, I think. I don't know how many English, I wonder if I don't know if they played other English teams in the start of the Europa. No, I don't think they have.
No.
So it'll be different for them. But I still think they get it done in their crazy fashion that they've been going about it recently. Late winners.
Late winners indeed. 100%. Okay, so I think, look, I agree. I think Leverkusen will go through. I think when you look at the two semis, you've got Liverpool, who's probably going to go through, and you've got Leverkusen, who's probably going to go through. So let's skip the semi-finals and let's have a look at a Liverpool versus Leverkusen final.
Yeah.
In that game, it's a very interesting game. You've got Klopp, you've got Alonso, you got what will probably be Klopp's last game. You've got Alonso, who could well be the new manager of Liverpool by that time, or shortly thereafter. So a lot to play for there.
Yep.
Who are you taking in that game and why?
I think Liverpool wins it pretty, I wouldn't say easily, but
I don't say easily.
I would confidently say Liverpool will win. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But I think if Bayer Leverkusen win that game, then fuck, man.
That's fucking huge, man.
The raps on Alonso as a manager if he wins
Mate,
that game.
you're talking about stock through the fucking roof.
Insane.
Yeah, agreed.
And if I were Liverpool at that stage, I would do any and everything to bring him in.
Oh, I hope we're already doing that.
Yeah.
I hope we're already doing that. Ben, what are you saying? If it's a Liverpool versus Leverkusen final, who are you taking and why?
I think Liverpool have got too much for him, personally.
Okay.
Like, if Liverpool's a full-strength squad.
I think both of you are taking away from the stock that Leverkusen have given themselves this season. I think, like, as good as Liverpool have been, I think Leverkusen have been incredible this season.
No, there's nothing to take away from Leverkusen, but they're playing in a weaker league. Like, and now pressure is building, and we said about their...
You may say that it's a weaker league, but if you look at the Champions League, there's 3 Spanish teams and only 2 English teams. So on that basis alone, the Spanish league is better than the English league.
Yeah, but you're talking about Spanish, it's
I know,
not German.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying as an example though, right?
Yeah.
So
I'd honestly, Dortmund's in the Champions League. So
Yeah.
I'd personally think they don't have enough. They'd be good, but just because they're winning their league like they are, and
they're
Bayern
beating a
haven't been very
Bayern
good.
team that you guys are shitting yourselves about.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
surely that means a lot.
But they played them twice when they're under turmoil, like in turmoil. So I'm not saying it's going to be Liverpool smash them. All I'm saying is I think Liverpool would win a final.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because if I had to say it today, you're probably going to laugh at me. I reckon Leverkusen will beat us in a final.
Stop trying to fucking reverse jinx stuff, please.
You think I'm doing whatever the fuck I want, but I think if it's just a one-off game, if Leverkusen going into that game remain undefeated and that was the last game of their season, I think they've got... it's hard to say more to play for, but I think they will get the job done.
Yeah, interesting. I fully think that they have more than a chance, obviously. It's not like I just think Liverpool are going to fucking...
Yeah.
But I also think, if you think about it, if Liverpool have a full-strength team, they're still going to... they'd beat most of the fucking Champions League teams now.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. If Liverpool win the Champions League this season, they're sitting at the top of trying.
So it's very tough to say. But look, the way the Leverkusen's going to shake that shit up.
I actually think Leverkusen would be in and amongst it this season.
100%
as well.
Because they got that resilience.
Yeah,
man.
correct.
They've got that never give
that
up.
winning
and that's
mentality.
the cup kind of shit you need.
Correct. Exactly
Not
right.
cup, but the tournament kind of stuff.
To win trophies, you need that mentality, right? So, all right, look, those are the two. I don't think we're going to touch on the Conference League, but we had two predicted finals. We've got Man City, we've got Atletico in the Champions League final. We've got Liverpool versus Leverkusen in the Europa League final.
Yeah.
Which of the two is more interesting as a matchup?
I think the Europa League game. I couldn't care less about watching Atletico, but obviously it's Champions League final. Anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
But gee, I'm excited. 2 English teams
Yeah.
once again.
What about you, Ben? What are you saying? Tactically, which one shapes up better?
Good question.
Yeah, because in previous years, I'm sure we've never needed to ask this question, right?
No, it's the narrative as well.
And that,
Like, it's
right,
the
context
whole-
plays a
yeah.
lot into it, you know? Yeah.
I think, well, unless it was Real Madrid versus Atletico final,
Yeah, that's huge.
that would be huge.
That's huge. Agreed. Yeah. Or even Real Madrid versus Barcelona. Like imagine an El Clasico final.
yeah.
Massive.
Right.
But if it was who we predicted it will be, then I'd say Liverpool Bayern pretty big. Or Bayern.
Bayer. Yeah. Look, it's interesting. I can't wait for the next round of competition in football because playing football over 2 legs is so exciting.
That's the best.
It's the best. It's actually the best. So bring it on. And straight after the international break, I think, or very soon after the international break is when the next round will kick off, I think.
Yep.
That's correct.
Awesome. So that's it for the Champions League, Europa League. Is there anything else happening around the top 5 European leagues before we close off the segment?
Anything worth touching on? We got Bundesliga. There's a bit going on. Obviously, Leverkusen, who we've been talking about this a little bit. They've just been continuing their win streak. So I think it's 28 now in the league, unbeaten.
Correct. And they've got a 10-point gap on...
10-point gap
Munich.
with 8 games to go.
Yes.
They got a couple tough games to go, but
At what point do you say the league's done? When it's mathematically out of reach? Or
I think it's mathematically done pretty late. I think when there's 3 games to go,
yeah,
it's done.
because the gap's 10, you're right. Yeah.
But it could be done before that. Bayern drop more points. Could be done even quicker. But then even Harry Kane's broken some record for a debut player, 31 goals or something.
Did I see correctly that he had some kind of injury in the last match?
Yeah, hurt his ankle.
Any doubt for the Champions League Arsenal tie?
It's a little while away, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little
Couple
while away.
weeks.
Yeah.
I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
And there's still like a month to go until
He
those
loves playing
games.
Arsenal, so
He does love playing Arsenal, you're not wrong. I think he's the most prolific goal scorer ever against Arsenal,
I
isn't
think
he?
he is, yeah.
Yeah. Says a lot, isn't it?
Yeah,
All
but
the
fuck, man, he can bang goals like no tomorrow. But
Yeah.
he loves scoring against Arsenal.
Yep.
Other leagues, what's going on in La Liga?
The Liga, as we touched on earlier on, Barca have crept right back up again. What was 6 points? They're actually 8 points off Real Madrid, but they're in second. Girona
Girona.
is now third, 2 points behind Barca.
It's so sad that they've tailed, isn't it?
To be expected, though, weren't it?
It is to be
At least
expected.
one fairy tale's continued in Leverkusen.
Yeah.
True.
Remember we were even talking about Aston Villa
Yep.
because they were on top.
Yep.
We were talking about Emery, coach of the year, everything.
You never know if they beat all of the,
Mate, I was
the
just
top 3.
literally took
No,
the
no, I
words
mean,
out of
you
my
still- it
mouth.
could
They
still
are
happen.
still mathematically in with a shout of winning the league.
I'm not saying that it can't happen, but and then obviously PSG is smoking the league, and then in Serie A, Inter.
Serie A, Inter has run away with it.
Yep.
They played Napoli in the morning. They drew 1-1. But Inter, I think they've actually got the best defense in Europe.
Wow.
Thiago Motta has really got them going. That's why it was a bit weird that they did what they did against Atletico in the Champions League, because they're by far got the best team in the league. They've only lost 1 game this year, conceded 14 goals.
It's very interesting, isn't it? The Serie A, because
Serie A has been...
there always seems to be, at least in recent times, Ben, one team that just runs away with it. If it's not Juventus of yesteryear, Napoli of last season, or Inter of this season, you know.
I just made a big boo-boo. It's Inzaghi who's the manager of Inter.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Motta
it was
was
Bologna's
Bologna's Thiago
Motta.
Motta,
But
you're correct,
they're
yeah.
in 4th, 3 points ahead of Roma in 5th. And Atalanta is 4 points away from that. The Europe places are quite up for grabs. Milan and Juventus are fine in 2nd and 3rd. There's a bit of a shit fight there. But one of the Champions League spots, because of the competitions expanding next year, one of them will be going to Italy. So as it stands, Roma will be in the Champions League.
Interesting. And Napoli will miss out.
Yeah, Napoli are currently 6 points behind Roma. So there's still loads to play for. Like, you think about Lazio's down in 9th. Serie A's not done yet in terms of the bigger picture. If you want to jump back to La Liga, Atletico, they're down in 5th. Atleti are in 4th, and they're not far behind
Yeah.
3rd. So
Yeah.
you might see, unless Atletico go and win the whole thing, they might not be in Champions League next year.
I'm fucking keen for these upcoming European games.
Yeah, very keen for him.
Yeah. very
Across
keen.
both competitions, I'm very keen to see how it actually plays out.
Yeah.
Before you got so excited that you lagged out then.
I just didn't know how I was going to say it, but yeah.
Did you see that Kylian Mbappe racked up 250 goals for PSG? That's
fucking
insane,
incredible.
isn't it?
That is insane. That's crazy.
Wait till he's
how
at
many seasons has he played there? Maybe 5?
5, 6 now. But think about that. It's crazy.
Did you hear? Did you see that video where a fan says, "Come to Arsenal"? And
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh no, it's too cold. We can rule England out then."
He's going to be making bank in Madrid, scoring goals for fun. It's going to be ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah. If you were Kylian and you had the choice to come to Arsenal, who are, shaping up to be a really good team, very young, good manager, there's been a lot of improvement. Would you go there, have a chance of winning the league, something that's not been done, the Champions League, something that's not been done before, or would you want to go to Real Madrid, something, if you win the league, if you win the Champions League, it's already been done 14 times before? You know what I mean? Like, for an individual, especially of his quality, who can make an impact of that level
Yeah.
at a club, would you not try to chase that? I guess it's up to the individual and what they aspire to, and if Real Madrid is really his dream club,
Yeah. I think it depends on obviously the player, right? Because this guy supposedly is a big Madrid fan, so it would mean a lot to him to go and win there. But
I don't know, you're 25 times ticking. You've had some of the best players at PSG in a Farmers League where you've had ample opportunities to go and make a run, and it's not like they've had poor managers and stuff.
Yeah.
I would look at it, I'm like, I'm now 25. It's not going to happen. I need to go.
Yeah.
I think that's how I'd look at it.
That's fair enough.
I'd like the idea of it, but imagine trying to sit there and be like Harry Kane.
I mean, he's young enough to go play 3 years in Spain and then be like, if England's really on his list, he'll be 28, 29?
Yeah.
Well, also, what else has he got to prove? He's a World Cup winner.
Yeah.
He's proven it on every stage. Why not go to Madrid where they're building something to last for a while as well? Bit of a dynasty.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's done everything, because you're right, he has won the World Cup and that's a massive, massive thing. But if you were to say he's done everything, I think he takes PSG and wins them the Champions League. At that point, you could say he's done everything, especially with a team that had Messi as well as Neymar in it too. And that's why the question about, go to Arsenal, do something that's never been done, or go to Madrid and do something that's already been done 14 times before. What means more?
Money.
Yeah, fair enough, I guess. That's it, I think, for that segment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We'll wrap up there and we'll be back shortly. Okay, we are back
Reporting live.
from
Table Tennis World.
TT World.
Undisclosed studio location.
Yes, but know that there's a table tennis table.
Correct.
For the listeners, one day I may or may not be in trouble.
Let's hope that day never comes, mate. Fucking hell. Or at least by the time that day comes, this podcast is like kicking goals left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not, we'll be doing it on the street next to the buskers. That'll make some awkward background noise.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right, where are we?
It's Debate Me Softly.
It is, isn't it? And it's the final segment of the 2-part
Extravaganza super mega
pod
of Join Us.
of Dribble Me Softly.
Correct.
Yes, that thing. Okay, segment 1 of part 2, we did speak a lot about Bayer Leverkusen, or Neverlusen, as I've now called them. They've been incredible this season, right? No one predicted for them to be where they are, and it's a testament to the manager. But now that they're in this position, I'm like so puffed from table tennis. Now that they're in this position, I have to ask you guys the question. If they do now go on and they don't win the league, they don't, win the Europa League, or they don't lift the cup in Germany, would you consider his Xabi Alonso season to be a failure?
I think it's tough to say, right? It's tough depending on where you look at it from. Looking at it from today compared to the beginning of the season is totally different.
100%,
right?
which is why I put that context on it, right?
So if we're looking at it today, and they are 26 games unbeaten, in the league.
Yes, and more than 30 across all comps.
Europa League undefeated. The Cup, they're in the
Final 4.
semi.
Yep.
I'd say having a 10-point gap on Bayern, they don't win the league. I feel like
It's a failure now.
I feel like now it's a failure. To lose it, and it's tough because, as Arsenal fans know, leading the comp with that many games to go, or like with still a fair way to go, it's never done and dusted.
No, you're right. Until it's mathematically impossible, there's still a possibility.
Yeah. And I
Obviously,
think
but yeah, it
with
goes without
8
saying.
games left, they still need to go hard for the next 5 to make sure they get the league done, wrapped up. So easier said than done, man. I think though, yes, I think if they leave the season trophyless, let's put it that way.
Yep.
And you know the standards that Xabi Alonso would be holding them to. I think even he would consider the season a failure because you reevaluate your goals
Of course.
as the season goes.
Yeah.
Before the season started, they maybe said like, let's
Top
go
4.
for the
Top 4.
let's get a Champions. Let's go deep in Europa. Like let's do everything we can and let's win this cup.
Yep. That's
Now
a
it's-
realistic expectation.
That is what they would have said. Now they're like, all right, let's win this cup. Let's win Europa, and most importantly,
Let's
for
win this
us,
fucking
let's
league.
fucking win this league.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I'm getting excited for them right here, man.
I think it's the table tennis. It's done something to you.
Yeah, lively.
Yeah.
What are you saying on it all, Ben?
Forgot the question.
Table tennis has gotten to you too, mate.
I was thinking about that double backhand. I'm quitting the pod. I'm playing table tennis full time.
He's quitting.
Full time TT.
Yeah.
Gone to your head, mate.
Yes.
You're not that good, mate.
I know. I'm terrible.
Stay on the pod.
Okay, fine. All right, I'm back on the pod.
Fuck.
Tell HR I need to retract my resignation.
Okay. Pose the question again. Do you remember it? Obviously.
No, so the question is, Ben, that considering where Bayer Leverkusen are now, is it a failure if Xabi Alonso doesn't leave the season with at least one trophy next to his name?
Given where they are, I'd say, yeah. Like, at least a German cup.
Interesting, because
At least.
now, given where they are, if they were to just win the German Cup, I would consider this a failure.
Yeah,
Same.
pretty much. Well, they're 10 points ahead
Same.
with 8 games left. Yeah. It'd be pretty disappointing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you would have to be 100%.
I think most fans would be like,
What the fuck?
this league
Yeah.
is ours now.
Oh, you would have
Yeah.
to. Like the moment that they beat Bayern 3-0,
Yeah.
that was it for them. That was the moment they could say, we're winning this league.
Well, could you realistically see them losing 3 games of 8 when they've lost 0 so far?
That's a good question.
And
They can even still lose 3, to be honest. and still win the
that's
league.
what I mean. And like the 3 that I'd point there as Stuttgart, Frankfurt, and
Dortmund as
Dortmund.
well.
Dortmund.
And then they still need to drop points somewhere else.
That's true, but Bayern have also lost games that they shouldn't have lost this season, right?
Oh yeah, that's not a given. But like, just because we earmarked those 3, what's the chance of them actually losing those? They could still draw those.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, they could just go on a horrible run of losses. Draws, end the season unbeaten,
And still win.
and maybe they don't win. Maybe because you're dropping.
Yeah,
2
you're dropping
points
so
each
many
game.
points, yeah.
2 points in 8. That's 16.
So at the start of the season, it's absolutely a success. If you're looking at benchmarking where they are now against where they pictured that they would be at the start of the season, this is the biggest success Bayer Leverkusen could have ever have imagined.
Yep.
Okay, but obviously you put a bit of context behind it. They're sitting top of the league. They're in the final 4 of the DFB set.
Pokal. Yep.
And the other 3 teams left in the Cup are all Bundesliga 2 teams.
Yeah.
On paper, second most likely to win the Europa League after Liverpool.
Yeah.
And they're top of the league. Surely they walk away with at least 2 trophies next to their name by the end of this season.
Yeah. I think the domestic
If not
double is
3.
up there for them.
If not 3.
Yeah, dude. If they can do it, that's insane. I think they can definitely win the league.
I think the league should now be a guarantee. I know you can never ever call it a guarantee, but the fact that you've gone the whole season undefeated, you're not going to lose 3 now. Look at the way that they're winning games. Look at Karabag in the round of 16. 93rd, 97th minute, Patrick Schick wins them the game.
Yeah.
Do you think that they just need to lose one and get it out of the system and then go back to being a bit more steady? Because there's a lot of pressure building because they haven't lost it all season.
But the thing is, Ben, the flip to that is what if they lose 1 and that's the caveat to them falling off a cliff?
They just absolutely.
That would have to be a
Ruins
monumental cliff, wouldn't it? That's one hell of a car crash.
Oh, 100%. But like this is football and stranger things have happened.
I think mentally
Leicester won the Premier League.
Yeah, true. Mentally,
True.
they're probably holding on to this undefeated tag. Thinking mentally, they're going into games thinking we aren't going to lose.
It's that winning mentality.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it is.
And then imagine they lose one game and they're like, "Fuck, we're not invincible here." Then they just fucking plonk it.
Yeah.
That'd be sad to see.
100%. 100%. You would absolutely think now that they're going to go on and they're going to lift at least 2.
I'm interested to see the West Ham tie. To be
Yeah,
honest.
absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt. It's so interesting. There's so much talk around Xabi Alonso, and he's been incredible for them. He has. He's taken them from being relegation zone last season to being top of the league this season.
Have you seen like the respect he commands from his players? Have you seen the video of Frimpong talking to the refs?
Oh, I don't think
Have
I
you
have.
seen
No.
that?
No.
I think it was just in a recent game, and Frimpong was talking to the refs and like getting a bit agitated, and Xhaka came over. I know, very strange. Xhaka came over to pull him away. It usually would be the other way
The other
around.
way around, yeah.
And Frimpong's like pushed Xhaka away because that's like players that like obviously wants to talk
Heat
to the
at the
ref.
moment, yeah.
Xabi Alonso walks over and he says something to Frimpong, immediately listens and walks away. And then Xabi Alonso has a conversation with the refs. I'll send it to you.
I fucking love Xabi Alonso.
Yeah.
I love everything that he's about.
Like you can see what the players are playing for him 100%.
It's so mad.
Yeah.
It's so fucking mad.
This guy's getting so excited.
Nah,
But no, I agree.
yeah.
He's to do that in his first season.
It's insane, bro. Like,
Incredible.
It's crazy. We're talking about like a team that haven't ever won the league, haven't won the cup for more than 30 years, I think you said before. And they're doing things that are unimaginable right now. All right, I think we all agree. If they walk away trophyless, it's a failure.
Mm-hmm.
If they walk away with just the cup, is it a failure?
I think so.
If they walk away with just the Europa League, is it a failure?
Nah, but I think now losing the league will be a failure.
Yes, I think that's ultimately what it
Yeah.
is. Losing the league from this position of being 10 points clear of Bayern,
Yeah,
that's the biggest
10
telltale.
points clear is
It's
big.
huge, man. It's huge.
If Bayern, go out and Liverpool don't win the Europa League, is that considered a failure?
Say that again.
If Bayern go out of Europa League before coming across Liverpool in a final,
Yeah,
would that be considered?
that's a good question. So if you're saying if they don't make it to the final,
Yeah, like just looking at the people that were left,
Mm.
would you consider that? Because we're all coming to the same conclusion here that those are the two that we see as like
yeah, the two benchmarks in the comp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On the flip side as well, with Bayer, like if Liverpool went out somehow and they didn't go and win it, would you see that as a failure?
I think where Liverpool are concerned, if we don't make the Europa League, it's a failure. Yes, I think where Bayern are concerned, as long as they win the league, I don't think anything else matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's fair.
And I think, like obviously now, it's not like they can take their foot off the accelerator where the league's concerned, but they've got that gap now that they can put some effort into the Europa League too to push a final. It'd be a lot different if they were sitting toe and toe with Bayern, because then you've got to factor in your midweek game and then the squad depth. And if you look at squad depth, Bayern have the squad depth to go. The fact that they're in this position now with 8 games to go, they've got to hold it as much as they can.
100%.
Yeah,
How good is this season?
incredible. It's
Crazy. Even with those last 8 Europa teams, in years gone by, Leverkusen wouldn't even be in the top 6 favourites to win out of those 8.
God, no.
AC,
Yep.
Roma,
Yep.
Benfica even,
Yep.
Liverpool, West
Yep.
Ham. Like maybe Atalanta, they'd be ahead of them. And then the last team that Benfica's playing is Marseille. So those 3 are similar category.
Well, like we said about earlier, the Europa League has never been this exciting before.
No.
You've genuinely got 2 teams in the Europa League who could be challenging the Champions League right now. So it's very exciting. But I think we've spoken enough about Bayern Neverlusen. I think we've spoken enough about the title race and Xabi Alonso. So I think, Ben, it's time to wrap up this.
Super mega extravaganza, super mega extraordinary pod.
This has gotten brazier and brazier as the pod's gone on, hasn't it?
Yeah. This is what happens when we do dinner before pod.
Yes, as we sit in a dark studio.
I know. It's sort of cool. I don't mind it.
It's mystic.
It's a bit eerie. But look, it's been an absolute pleasure, gentlemen. I've really enjoyed this super extravaganza mega podcast, whatever we've called it. Thank you as always for tuning in. It's been a pleasure recording. We won't be in the recording studio next week because, Ben, you are off to...
I'm off to Thailand.
You are indeed. Enjoy your trip. Safe travels. And Stu,
Thanks, guys.
you're also off to Brizzy, so you also look after yourself. Safe travels.
Thanks, mate.
We'll be back in a couple of weeks to do this all over again with a hot title race and a lot more.
Yes. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and do all those wonderful things and share our goodness with people.
Brilliant. On that note, see you later.
Thank you.
Dude. do, do, do.